So I just had a couple of questions. I think what I'm wanting is affirmation that I'm reading the signs properly.
We want to say something to you, and we really want you to hear this. So what if you miss a sign? There's going to be another one. And so what if you misunderstand what the sign says? There's going to be another one. Don't put yourself in this position where you're so worried that you're not going to have this perfect path from where you are to where you want to be. Wouldn't it be fun to just have a little more fun along the path? What is so important about figuring it all out in advance?
Yeah. Of course, we always talk about the journey is the point. What is it about us that we forget that? Because I feel that
you have stood in the eye of scrutiny of so many people who have been holding you to standards that have nothing to do with your alignment. People who are conditional in their appreciation and love for you, who need you to be this way so they can feel this way, and this way so they can feel this way, and this way. And so others around you have set standards that are irrational, that don't have anything to do with you, and are impossible for you to uphold.
Why do I care so much about that? Because I want to.
Because you want to feel good. And when someone holds you as their object of attention, and you are performing in the way they want you to, so they are liking what they are seeing, then you're getting some positive feedback. But it's a far cry, that positive feedback that you get from a human when you're jumping through hoops that please them, and the feedback that you get from your inner being when you are on your path, you see. And so what you want to do is be able to differentiate the satisfaction that you feel when you're pleasing another person and the satisfaction that you feel when you are in alignment with your true self and who you really are and what you really want. Those who are the best at it are the youngest ones who haven't been conditioned by those who have been here before. The longer you're here and the more socialized you become, the more you attempt impossibly to satisfy the needs and desires that others have for you. But coming into alignment with who you are through meditation and spending more time reaching for the feeling place of that alignment, more often being in the receiving mode and more often recognizing those strong, good feeling thoughts when they come, will help you to notice the difference. We want to make some strong statements to sort of get your attention about how to know that you're utilizing your guidance and how to know that you're being influenced by strong momentum of someone else. Anybody who's thinking about anything is causing an energy stream. And when a lot of people are thinking about the same thing, it does cause a strong energy stream. When you walk into a room, you don't look for a dark switch. You look for the light switch, but you don't look for a dark switch, because there is the light and there is the resisting of the light, but there's not a stream of light and a stream of darkness. There's only a stream of light which is allowed or not allowed. And so sometimes people say, well, then where does evil come from? Where does bad stuff come from? Where does the negative stuff come from? And we say, as a person gets pinched off from that, and they begin demonstrating what life feels like to them when they're pinched off, and then they join with someone else who's pinched off, and then they get together and they talk about it, these rivers or streams of energy begin to flow, and they're not imaginary. Every thought produces an energy stream. But there's a significant difference between energy streams that are the spin-off of man's conscious mind and energy streams that are coming from source energy. There's such a big difference in those energy streams. But most humans are really dramatically affected by the energy stream of man's conscious mind. Look at what's going on in your political arena these days. There's a huge stream of discontent that's been channeled into a specific direction, and people are joining it because they can feel the power of it, and they're getting some sense of empowerment. But it is so odd that in their sense of empowerment, they are denying their true power, because there is no real power in hatred. But there is a sense. Most people would rather be angry than victim. So there is more power in being angry than victim, but the comparison between being victim and angry and blameful and being in alignment with love and clarity, in other words, is a huge difference. But if you're so far from alignment, you might choose the other in the process. And so that's the answer to your question. How is it that people get so disconnected from who they really are? Is because they're following or flowing with, and law of attraction is assisting it, they're flowing with the most powerful stream that's in the vicinity of where they hang around, you see. And sometimes these big movements, sometimes it takes a big swing away from who you really are to cause your mass consciousness, we're talking about millions of you, maybe billions of you, to launch rockets of desire into the vortex that makes for a greater calling later. In other words, nothing is going wrong. You can't lose from this. There's nothing to be afraid about in it. We're not warning you about anything. We're just explaining that that's how these energy streams flow. So as you become aware of your own guidance system, and you understand that you have an inner being, and you get it, that you have a relationship in every moment between your inner being and you, and that's what's important to you, is being aware of that gap, not the gap between you and these people, or you and these people, and you and these people. Those gaps are irrelevant, but the gap between you and you, those gaps really matter, you see. So as you tend to that gap first, until you finally get into a rhythm of alignment, then and only then can the rest of the world come into perspective for you. And then and only then does it not threaten you. And then and only then are you truly free. So then you might say some irrational, crazy things that some people couldn't hear at all, like, I cast my vibrational vote, and I do it all the time. And law of attraction brings to me good things all the time. And it doesn't matter what's going on in a larger picture or in a smaller picture. It only matters what's going on between me and me. And I'm like an island unto myself. And law of attraction is bringing plenty of others for me to play with. And I'm living life happily ever after. And there are those that would say, well, then you've got your head in the sand and you're not helping others. And you'd say, well, I do have my head in the sand and I am helping others, because joining people in misery only creates more misery. And if I have to pull away from the miserable in order to find my ecstasy, in time, other ecstasy will be there. And everyone will understand that when they make their reemergence into non-physical. And everyone who is non-physical already understands it and is flowing that to us now. And the fact that there is so much knowledge about that and well-being and love, that is the reason, the only reason that so many people can feel the discord and the pain of hatred. Because that relationship exists, you see. And so it's all good. It's all good. Just know that whatever you're focused upon is going to become more. So anytime you're noticing something pleasing or satisfying, as you focus upon it, it becomes more. That's the way, by focusing upon it. But there's a difference between feeling it and liking it and waiting for the other shoe to drop. Feeling it and liking it and being afraid it won't stay. Feeling it and liking it and wonder why it doesn't come longer. Feeling it and liking it and wondering why it doesn't come under those conditions. In other words, you just have to figure out what thoughts work for you and what thoughts work against you. And little by little begin focusing on more of the things that feel good. And then the universe just yields to you more and more and more. The better it gets, 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 the better it gets. The worse it gets, the worse it gets, the worse it gets, the worse it gets. But the better it gets, the better it gets, the better it gets, the better it gets. And as you start making that association between your thought and how you feel and what comes next, then you've got it. But the piece that we really want you to focus upon, because you're all right here and you're understanding it. And this is the piece that so much of the world isn't able to hear or isn't ready to hear, and that is that there is so much non-physical energy focused with you right here and now. And those delicious feelings that you're feeling are your indication of your alignment with that greater knowledge, with that greater power, with that greater love, with that greater awareness, with that greater intentionality, with that greater purpose. And anything less than that for you all will not be enough anymore. It's like a friend said to Esther the other day, you do not cope well in negative emotion at all. And Esther said, I don't. I'm a mess in negative emotion. I have no coping skills in negative emotion whatsoever. Kill me now. I have no coping skills whatsoever. And this is what we wish for all of you. We wish for you never again to be able to cope in negative emotion. It's not who you are. It's not where you belong, you see. It's not what you are about. You've left that behind. Now you are in various degrees of alignment. You don't need to learn to cope with negative emotion, because law of attraction is not going to put you together with things that you are not a vibrational match to. And that's what you're calling that sensitivity to some degree. That sensitivity is awareness of where you stand in relationship to your inner being. Here's the clarification that you're looking for, and you're going to hear this clearly. So this is the discussion about how specific should I be? Because we've talked also about scripting, about imagining, about seeing something that isn't until you feel like it is. So when do I become more specific? And when do I be less specific? And the answer isn't the same to everyone, and it isn't the same to anyone all the time. It depends on where you are vibrationally. So let's say that you want something and it currently hasn't come about. Well, under those conditions, as you focus more on it, you probably will feel more aware of its absence. So that's the time to back off from the specifics and just be general about it. All things in good time, and things are unfolding nicely for me, and I'll know it when I see it, and I'm feeling really good. And there's just general statements about it. However, let's say you've wanted it, you've been sensing it and feeling it, you've been finding lots of reasons to feel good, and your anticipation of it unfolding is getting stronger and stronger. And now you're finding yourself thinking about it, and it's pleasurable to think about it. It makes you feel happy to think about it. You want to talk about it. You want to think about it. Then that's the time to do it for the pleasure of it. Did you ever hear us talking about the focus wheels? The focus wheel was devised to help you focus. And it was devised understanding that many of the things that you want, you already are experiencing the essence of them. For example, let's say that what you want is more money. Well, at the heart of more money is a feeling of greater prosperity. But you already are experiencing prosperity by living in this beautiful world, and prosperity by being in this beautiful room, and prosperity by being in this beautiful body, and prosperity by having all these delicious friends. You already are experiencing a lot of prosperity, but you want more monetary prosperity. So you've written in the center of your focus wheel, a circle right in the center of the page, prosperity. Now around that circle, make several circles. Esther always does 12. And then put in each of those circles something that you're already living that feels like prosperity. So you might write, such and such a relationship is abundant with good things. The walk I take every day is abundant with wonderful things. And so as you write around your circle things where you are already feeling prosperity, what happens as you move around this circle is that in the center of it, this prosperity that you're trying to bring into place comes further into focus. You just feel more overall prosperous. So the focus wheel was devised in order to help you improve your vibration on a subject that mattered to you by taking pieces that are already working for you and focusing on them until the new piece works too. You see what we're getting at? It's a powerful process. As we observed you doing them, and mostly Esther because she did thousands of them, we began guiding her to use the focus wheel in a different way. Rather than using the focus wheel to try to improve focus, we encouraged her to use it when she's already got that good feeling focus, just to sustain it and practice it. So now when Esther does a focus wheel, it's always some subject that she's already solid on, and she just does the focus wheel to feel the satisfaction of being in that good feeling place. And what happens then is that new ideas begin to spring forth from it. By taking a subject that she already feels really, really good about and focusing on it, just holding that vibration brings new ideas. So what we're saying to you with all of this is, if it feels like work, it isn't working. If it feels like fun, keep doing it. If it feels the least bit like work, you're trying to overcome resistance. And anytime you're trying to overcome resistance, you're not overcoming it, you're enhancing the resistance.